Hey everybody, Nick here with another post-theater clarity. Today, we are talking about Faces of Death. Not the original shockumentary, but the 2026 thriller slash serial killer movie that just hit theaters. I had to come see the movie in movie theaters because of my generation's relationship with the original Faces of Death, which was this crazy forbidden thing that lived on in legend, and people talked about at school, and being this shockumentary that supposedly shows very real sequences of people dying. Of course, anyone who knows that a lot of the stuff in the movie was in fact fake. Some of it, like the electric chair sequence, I'm not sure how it ever fooled anybody, but that's besides the fact. I mean, it's the legend of Faces of Death speaks for itself. So it was interesting to see those people at Shudder come up with a way to incorporate that into kind of a thriller serial killer movie, and I think they did a great job. What you have here is a serial killer played extremely well by Dacre Montgomery, recreating some of the sequences of Faces of Death and posting it on the internet. Only, of course, this time around is for real. This is found out by the main character, Margot, played by Barbie Ferreira of Euphoria fame. And she works for a video platform, and she is a content moderator, and eventually uncovers these videos and figures out there might be something to them. So she goes about finding the truth behind it. It's a gruesome movie, but it's also a really good thriller. And I think they did such a great job incorporating the original Faces of Death into it, into, like, you know, the themes of, you know, voyeurism as people obsessed with death, and, you know, morbid curiosity goes with that, along with some of the original audio. And you'll even see clips from the original Faces of Death in there, because, well, the killer's recreating these. Movie doesn't reinvent the wheel, which is something I say a lot, but it does it really well. It's a really good little thriller, especially towards the end. It's tense, and you're just like, man, how's this going to unfold? What's going to happen? Let me tell you what really holds this movie together. Dacre Montgomery of, you probably know him as Billy from Stranger Things, and Barbie Ferreira really do a great job in this movie. They are both super believable in their roles, and they both do an excellent job. Dacre Montgomery, that dude can play a villain. I hope we see him in a lot more. He is legit very talented, very unhinged, but can turn on the charm when he needs to. I see a bright future ahead for him. But if you're looking for a good little gruesome horror thriller, I do recommend Faces of Death. It's a really well done movie, and I enjoyed it. Got to have a conversation with a guy while I was leaving the theater. He was the only other guy in the late show with me. Much younger guy, looked like early 20s, and he told me he thought it was all right, but we had a little talk about Faces of Death because he was unaware of the original Faces of Death and what it went along with that and the mystique around it. So I was able to educate him a little bit and get the perspective of someone who didn't have that same history with it. And he liked it all right, but it was interesting watching the movie and discussing it a bit with somebody who doesn't have that same history, and even he thought it was still a pretty good ride. So Faces of Death, if you're familiar with the original, it's a must watch. If not, it's still a pretty solid little horror movie. I recommend it. All right, that's it for this time, and I'll see you all next week.